Hi, welcome to the Holyoke Tarot. My name is Liam, and today I have a pick a card reading for you. There are going to be three piles. Our first pile is the Modern Witch deck, and that has this stone on it for the symbol, Rider Waite, and that has rose quartz. And then we have the Infinite Door deck that has this stone on it. Yeah, so if you want, you can pause the video here and pick a pile based on the deck of the art, or based on the stones that were on them, or just based on the numbers, or you can watch the whole thing and see what resonates. I read the cards, the decks, they have different energies, and I read them differently than other readers might, because I'm just reading the specific deck and the energies that are coming to me in the moment. I also don't read reversals, so you won't see any of those. And yeah, we'll see what comes through. There might be a general theme. There will be. That'll be the title of the video. And if you like the video, please give it a like. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. And if you like the channel and you're interested in seeing specific things, feel free to comment and let me know what you'd like to see. Cool. Let's get into it. I always have a song stuck in my head. That's something about me. What messages, energies do we have for pile one? Messages and energies do we have for pile one? Messages and energies do we have for pile one? What was that card? I think that was one. This card flipped over. Any more? Any more cards? Any more cards? All right. Last little shuffle. Let's see if there's any more coming through. Don't think so. Okay. So let's see what we have. We got the Knight of Cups, Four of Cups, Wheel of Fortune, and the Eight of Pentacles. So definitely some water energy here. Definitely some yeah, definitely some. It feels like things are maybe moving a little too slow for you, and you're kind of. I love this card because she's like over it. You know, you're kind of over it. You're over the pace at which things are moving, and that's very valid. Things have been very slow going. I think like in people's personal spheres, things have been very slow moving, and then as far as like the broader world goings on, everything is like warp speed. All the shit's happening, but I think like the pace for you, this might have, obviously isn't something everyone resonates with, but I think the pace for you has been slow. Things have been kind of like dragging. You're kind of like waiting to see the fruits of your labor a little bit. Um, yeah, I think having like an experience where, yeah, things are moving slow, and you're having a lot of these high um, water moments. So, like a lot of heightened emotions, maybe like an influx of like um, intuitive things that you're having to like navigate, that maybe it's been making it difficult for you to like be out in the world and be around people. And you've kind of like were hoping those things would have integrated a little bit faster, and they haven't yet. um, and I think that the message here is not that things are necessarily going to move faster, but that you can settle in to like just doing the work of integrating um, those things. And if it is like some sort of like psychic gift, which maybe it feels like it is to some degree, um, I think that there could be a level of like just practice, right? And that's what this is calling for you with the Eight of Pentacles, is like um, just sitting down, practicing, doing the thing, getting better at it, getting better at the skill, and yeah, just really like honing it. What's the Wheel of Fortune saying? I think the Wheel of Fortune here is saying that there's a lot of possibilities. I think that you could be, I think that there's a chance to be, because these kind of like look like the same people, but dressed and their hair is different, you know? I guess they don't exactly look like the same people. Their skin tone is different. Anyway, I've sort of always read that as they are the same person, but like it's like different avatars that you get to choose, right? So it is kind of, I think there is an element of chance and like roll of the dice and what have you. But there's also an opportunity for you to like choose how you want to like use these things, how you want to move forward, how you want to integrate them. If you want to actually have this be something that you share with others, or if it's just something you do on your own. I think the sharing with others is slow, and that might be the thing that you're like, why isn't this happening faster? Why aren't more people reaching out to me? Why isn't whatever? And I think there's an element here of like needing to just do the work, right? Needing to like put your head down and do the thing, repetitions, So yeah, I mean, I know that's not necessarily the most fun thing to hear, that like things are just going to keep kind of plugging along. But I think the advice here would be, or I mean, more so, it's like some reassurance that you're doing the right thing, and like the ultimate thing here is just to like keep pressing on. I don't think there's the only like decision factor would be what that Wheel of Fortune card is reflecting. So that's like if you want to really like have a specific avatar, is the word I keep wanting to say. Maybe look a certain way when you maybe have a certain like thing, that's especially for you. Like that's the thing that you can choose right now. If that makes sense. I think for who this is for, that will land. But yeah, there's not like a whole lot of clarity exactly. It's just like, yeah, put your head down and do the thing, which kind of is coming up a lot. So I think that's maybe just where we're at right now. Cool. Yeah, pile one. There you have it. All right. Let's move on to the next. Do I want to do a... No, I think it's okay. right, our Rider Waite deck. Rose quartz is the little symbol. Alright, what energies, messages do we have for our pile 3? Pile 3? What am I saying? Pile 2, what energies and messages do we have for our pile 2? Okay, not the whole deck, please. Please. What was I gonna say? I don't know what I was gonna say. What messages do we have for pile 2? Not very forthcoming with a message today. I see this card. Can I get a couple more, please? We can just do 4 though, that's fine. Okay, that's like 10 cards. Let's just get one more card, please. There we go, thank you. Okay, we have the 2 of Swords. Sorry, hair in my mouth. The 9 of Swords. The Star. And the Hanged Man. Okay. I think that there can be, or there is, a tendency to want like some surety and to want to be like very specific and clear about exactly what's going on, especially when you're looking to divination. You're like, okay, I need to know the specifics. I need to know exactly what's going to happen tomorrow and the next day and the next day. Is this person going to whatever, or is this, am I going to hear back from this job and like whatever? And I think sometimes there are definitely things, oftentimes there are definitely things that have specific answers. I definitely think that, yeah, but I do think also that there is an element of, actually, let me put it this way. I do think there is, what am I trying to say? Let me pause. Okay. I guess what I'm trying to say is with the 2 of Swords, she's blindfolded, right? So she doesn't know what she's facing, but she's prepared and ready to face the thing. So what I mean by that is I think there can be this thing, and I think it happens a lot to people who like, happens to me a lot is what I should say. I won't totally generalize it. Something that happens to me a lot is I kind of like can get stuck in like the 9 of Swords and wanting to know and like being super wrapped up in the headspace, in the nuisance mind, as the Buddhists say, and the Tibetan Buddhists, and getting very wrapped up in the headspace and like wanting to know what the thing is next, wanting to know what the answer is, wanting to da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And ultimately, most of the time with the things that I'm getting wrapped up in, the answer is just time. You know, it's just like we need to let some time pass, and then it will be revealed through time. Through time passing, it will be revealed. At the same time, though, there's like kind of like this fear almost of like, what could be happening, like what, like am I gonna be able to handle this or whatever, and I think that this Two of Swords is a reminder that like no matter what the quote unquote enemy is, and I only say that because she has swords, but it could just be anything. It doesn't have to be an enemy. No matter what the thing is that's coming down the path towards you, like you have the confidence and the ability to face it, even though you have no idea what it is. You're very capable, and you have the ability to face whatever things come your way. And well, I also think that sometimes, especially in like light and love spaces and manifestation spaces, there is a tendency to be like, oh, you can't, if you have ruminating thoughts or whatever, it's not going to come, you're going to mess it up, and you only have to have positive thoughts about it. And I don't think that's true. I think that it's okay if your mind works as a mind that can get wrapped up in things. I think sometimes the ultimate way to like deal with that is just to say it out loud or to write it down. Just be like, I'm really worried about this thing happening. You're getting on a plane, you'll be like, I'm freaked out about this plane crashing. What happens if that happens? Well, all these things happen. Okay, that's fine. If that happens, can I handle it? Well, I'll probably be dead. That's very unfortunate. But that would be what happens, and then I think you can play it out. Maybe if you have very, very extreme anxiety, don't follow this advice. But I think you can play it forward in your head, and then you can be like, okay, well, is that the complete end of the world? The plane crash is a bad example because that could be the complete end of the world. But I'm meaning like maybe like the job doesn't come through, or I don't know, I can't think of a specific example right now. Like your friend doesn't hit you back up, or whatever the thing is, Is that the complete like end of the world? No. Can I handle that if that happens? Yes. Okay. I'm not telling you that's going to stop whatever the thing is, but I think that there can be a point where if you're telling yourself, oh, I can't think this, I can't think this, I can't think this, I don't think you should completely indulge in your nuisance mind. I think there's an element of, I don't know if this is making any sense, sorry. But I think there's like an element of like, there's an element, what am I saying? There's a way to, in this like fretting, right? To just acknowledge that that's what's going on, right? Just acknowledge like, oh, I'm fretting about this situation. I'm worried about whatever's going to happen. And I don't think that's going to stop the thing from happening. I don't think it's going to stop whatever you're manifesting from coming true. But I think what it can do is it can allow you to just like be cool with whatever happens. You've acknowledged the possibilities and you can move on. And that doesn't mean the thing that you want is going to come true. That doesn't necessarily mean anything. It just means that you can give yourself a little bit of a break from this, and you can acknowledge that you're capable of facing whatever comes to you. It's a very, very, very long way of me getting to that point with just these two cards. Okay. And then we have the Star card and the Hanged Man. I think the Hanged Man kind of goes in tune with what I was saying about this. Because like you can look at it a different way. You can look at whatever the thing is that's coming, whatever the unknowable thing is. That's the part about the Two of Swords. Is like you don't know what it is that's coming towards you. And you're freaked out about it, and you're staying up late at night, and you're trying to strategize, and you're doing the X, Y, and Z thing. But you don't know, right? You ultimately don't know. And so I think the Hanged Man, in the specific perspective shift that it's asking you here, is to just give it a little bit of time, I know that's impossible sometimes, but like get a little bit busy, find something to do that's going to occupy you. That's probably not doom scrolling, because that might make everything worse, but I mean, if it's watching cooking videos or whatever, I think that's great. But I think like, yeah, I think it's helpful to just get you know, in any way possible, like just let some time pass between now and then and see how you feel in a few days. Yeah, and I think the star actually is right in line with that. The star in this deck I always read as like the what are you devoting yourself to, or tend what do you need to tend to, and so I think yeah, especially with these, it's like tend to your head and tend to your heart and tend to like yeah, um, and there's nothing worse than being like, oh, I'm trying to call this thing in, and then you're being stressed out about it or whatever, and then on top of that, you're like being rude to yourself for being stressed out about it. Like that's not helpful either. Um, one of my friends says a light touch, so that can be helpful. To just hold it with a light touch, hold it gently, very gently, see what happens. Give yourself some time. Yeah, that's not like, I definitely know that's not the most fun thing. I've definitely been in this energy recently, and it's definitely not the most fun thing, but I feel a little bit better now that some time has passed. So that's the advice of the cards through me, through my own perspective as well. So, all right. All right, our last deck, last pile. Infinite Door deck. Well, let me try and shuffle this properly. Like in a little 10-second hum of a song get a copyright claim. I need to watch myself. What messages do we have for pile 3? What energies, messages do we have? Let me write down. Just had an idea for my title. Which you'll already know if you're watching this video. I know what the title is. What messages do we have for pile 3? Let's see if we can get 4 cards. That's been the pattern today. Stop humming that song. I'm like, what else do I do? What else do I do to fill in this space in between talking, in between shuffling, you know? I'm going through like this, I'm doing this meditation training. It's called a mind training. I'm going through a book called Mind Training, and then anyways, the point of me saying that was saying that we did a long sit on Sunday, so we did two 40-minute sits with a 20-minute break in between, which is a long time to sit. And I had a busy mind. And that happens. And my teacher would probably say that that's perfect. So I guess I will choose to think that too. Okay. The world King of Swords. What is this? 6 of Cups, right? Judgment. I have not seen that card. These are kind of all similar, like, I mean, it's obviously the same deck, so they all are similar, but all their chairs, all their like thrones, like they all look very similar. The throne and the things right there. Hold on a second. Okay. It's at the 6 of Cups. I feel like my Roman numerals are off. I'm not very good at Roman numerals. It's like super easy. I don't know why I struggle with it. Sorry, I'm just looking at this. It's not the 6. What the heck is that card? 9. Duh. Should have known that. Nine of Cups. Interesting. Sorry, I read the thing too. Because this deck is pretty different. 9 of Cups. There's 6 on the back, but then there's 3 more. There's one on the right there. She's holding one. Then there's one right here, and then there's one on the ground that's spilled. Maybe it's containing the whole universe. She seems very satisfied, I would say. Like very contented. She's definitely got her cups full for sure. And an assortment. So if you're a beverage girly, or I think guys can be beverage girlies, or beverage babies. That's funny. Okay, sorry. Let me get back into this. I'm distracted with my inability to read Roman numerals. I was like, I don't think that's 6 because that doesn't look like the 6 symbol. It seems like I should be better at this by now. Yeah, well, I know what that is. That's 20 with the 2 X's. That's 21 with the 2 X's. XX1. Okay, that's interesting. Oh no, never mind. I was gonna say they're all divisible by 3, but 20 is not divisible by 3. Okay, what is this one saying? Yeah, so I mean the 6 of Cups feels like fulfillment, like you have your cups filled, you know, like you're fulfilled. Maybe you've been after something and now you've achieved that. And then with the King of Swords, obviously that's like the top of the sword game, as it were. And he seems very his foot's like turning into like a human foot. I mean, he's human form, but like fleshy human foot. So either he is unbecoming the human, or he's becoming it. Interesting. Sitting on your throne, you kind of have all these different hands coming out of the head, and so that sort of feels like you kind of like have all these ideas and things swirling around in your head. And you've kind of unlike the Nine of Swords, where that feels like this like heavy, intense, like ruminating thing, with the King of Swords it feels a little bit more like you've kind of like mastered this ability to hold all these different ideas. And with the World card, sometimes I kind of read it depending on the cards around it, like it feels like you're having to carry the world. But here it sort of feels a little bit more like exalting, like you're moving through these movements of carrying, and then you've rested, and now you're exalting it into the universe, into the galaxy almost. And so there's a level of like movement through there of like the work you've put into it, how far you've come is like has progressed is kind of what I want to say. Yeah, it sort of feels like there's a level of like you've done the thing, or you've been doing the thing, and now the like end game or the end result is making its way towards you. So there seems to be like some yeah, I'm gonna actually just see oops, sorry. Only because I just have this out. I want to see real fast what this says about this in this deck. What's this thing? Oh, it's not. Oh yeah, it is. Sorry. Here, I'll just read these. The world says, you are at a moment of positive transition on the precipice of great growth in some aspect of your life. Your life is about to change because of something you've accomplished. Allow yourself a moment of joyful reflection, but remember you are still evolving. And then judgment is, this is an opportunity to listen to what calls to you, be it spiritual, creative, or internal. Evaluate and reflect on the things you want to change. Perhaps it's a relationship, perhaps it's your career, perhaps it's something deeper. Now it's time to close old doors so you can open new ones and step through to the other side. So it's interesting that it's starting with that because, yeah, so I was getting that. There's a sense of like, you've done the thing, you've accomplished the thing, you're kind of like, you've kind of like integrated your swords, you've have all these ideas, you've acted on them, they've filled your cups, and now with the judgment, you're kind of like moving to, you're kind of like, okay, well, what's the next thing I can move on to? And I think also with the world, I think there is an encouragement though to it's not necessarily, all these things haven't necessarily happened yet. They're about to be happening. Like this is telling you like you're at the precipice of this thing happening. And so I think, yeah, really relish in these, especially with the Nine of Cups, like really relish in the like joy of the achievement. And I think then when that feels like it's kind of closed and you're ready to move on, then you can call forth, you can use your conch shell and call forth something else to begin. So yeah, there we have it. Last one kind of got away from us, but that's okay. I think we saw it through. I think they all kind of got away from us, actually. That's okay. If you have made it this far, I really appreciate you watching. Feel free yeah, feel free to leave a comment, leave a like. If you haven't subscribed already, please hit subscribe. The other thing I would like you to do, if you want to book a one-on-one reading with me, you can shoot me an email or send me a DM on Instagram. The information is in the description. All right, cool. Catch you in the next one.